Does this sound familiar? Do you find yourself questioning your abilities or attributing your achievements to luck rather than skill? Hi, I'm Valerie, and today on Business by Design, I want to help you explore how to transform self doubt into unshakable self belief. Join me.
Hello, I'm Valerie Priester, and this is the Business by Design podcast. Are you a woman entrepreneur who absolutely loves what you do and enjoy helping others, but for some reason, you can't seem to get out of your own way? You can't seem to get out of your head and really create the level of success that you desire? I get it. I truly understand. I've been there too. You see, I spent years searching for what do they call it? The holy grail, the secret sauce, right? To success. And what I learned along the way is all of the women that I knew that were very successful had one thing in common, and that was their way of thinking. Now, I know you may be saying it can't be that simple, can't be that easy, right? But the truth is, the number one key or secret, however you want to label it, to success is your way of thinking. It's your mindset. It's what you believe and what you think is possible for you. And so that's exactly why I created this podcast. I want to help you get out of your head, get out of your own way. I want to help you get into more profits, more passion, and more power. I want to help you to shift away from old beliefs and release old ways of thinking, self sabotaging conversations, and help you shift into new beliefs that support your goals and bring lasting success. I want to help you design your victory so you can create the business and life that you desire. So if you're ready for some real talk about how to do that, if you're ready to really make the shift and move into greater possibilities and greater success, you're in the right place.
Self doubt is a sneaky little thing, and it can creep in oh so cleverly, right? It can stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or how about that infamous imposter syndrome? You know, the feeling that you're a fraud despite evidence of your competence or all of the success that you've achieved. Ask yourself, have you ever dismissed a compliment about your work? Or have you ever felt like you don't deserve the success that you have? These are telltale signs of underlining self doubt. But here's the truth, right? Self doubt is not a reflection of your actual abilities, it's a mindset, it's a set of beliefs that can be changed. So let's shift the focus to recognizing your true worth, right? Let's shift our way of thinking and really dive into showing you what your true worth is, right? How do we do that? We start by acknowledging your accomplishments. This is one exercise that I always have my clients do is what have you accomplished? And this is something that you should acknowledge and review on a regular basis. Like every quarter is a good time for you to review what have I accomplished over the last quarter, right? And it's simple. It really doesn't take a lot of time. You just take a moment to list out your achievements, big or small, it doesn't matter. Write them down because this will reinforce their reality, right? And again, what I teach my clients to do is not only just write them down, but also create what I call a success journal, right? I have one for myself. And what I do in the success journal and what I teach my clients to do in the success say that three times, success journal is to write down all your accomplishments when they occur, right? This is also a great place to keep your client testimonials, right? I tuck them in and keep them in my success journal as well, because when I'm feeling low and when I'm feeling like I haven't really accomplished anything, even though we know that's never the truth, I can go back through my success journal, read all the things that I've accomplished, and read my client testimonials. And over time, what that does, it helps me to build this tangible record of my capabilities, the things that I know that I have accomplished, right? And that I'm capable of accomplishing. It's a way to challenge negative self talk with concrete evidence that what you're thinking or what you're saying to yourself are not true statements. Now, remember, your success is not a fluke. It's the result of your hard work. It's the result of your skills, your determination, right? All of the things that you have accomplished, those things are real. And as entrepreneurs, we typically don't spend a lot of time acknowledging that. So, how do you build this unshakable confidence? Well, now that you have really looked at your strengths and understood like all the things that you have accomplished over time, that's when you start to build this unshakable confidence, right? And one way of doing that, which I like to use and again teach my clients to use, are using affirmations and visualization, right? Try beginning your day with positive affirmations, right? Phrases like, I am capable, I deserve success, or I trust my abilities, right? These type phrases can rewire your subconscious mind. And when you pair this with visualization, like imagining yourself achieving your goals, feeling confident as you're achieving them, and empowered, that is the most powerful thing that you can do to really build an unshakable confidence, right? And as you think about building this unshakable confidence, another thing that you can do, and I'd like to practice this as well, is every night when you prepare to go to sleep, right? When you are like laying in your bed, lie flat on your back, close your eyes, visualize yourself being the person that you are becoming, right? Notice I didn't say the person that you want to be, because that puts it out into the future and kind of distance it away from your mind and your way of thinking, your subconscious mind, right? But visualize the person that you are becoming and visualize yourself achieving your goals and feeling confident and feeling empowered in the moment. Only takes about 5 minutes. Just visualizing that before you drift off to sleep. Now, another way is to, of course, embrace a growth mindset. I'm all about a growth mindset. Why? Because when you adopt the belief that your abilities and your intelligence can be developed, that's a growth mindset. And when you adopt that mindset, challenges become opportunities for growth rather than threats to your self esteem, right? This perspective, of course, reduces fear. It reduces stress, right? It also helps you in the moment when you're dealing with setbacks, right? Because then setbacks simply become a part of a learning process and not something to keep you stuck or keep you from moving forward. Okay. Another way to build this unshakable confidence is to step outside of your comfort zone. We get so used to being in the comfort zone and doing the things that we, feel comfortable doing. That's why they call it a comfort zone, but it's really not that comfortable. But we get so used to that and we stay stuck in that state that it prevents us from growing. It certainly prevents our confidence from growing. But when you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when your confidence grows, right? That's when you begin to face these fears head on, right? And you can start with small challenges, things like speaking up in a meeting or standing your ground with a client, right? Or even sharing your ideas more openly. All of that is about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And each step that you take outside of your comfort zone, it expands your confidence, right? It's about making you more confident in new situations. And so every time you try this, you build your confidence. And then, of course, there's the seeking feedback and mentorship, right? That's what coaches are here for. That's what I'm here for. So you want to be mindful of surrounding yourself with supportive individuals who can provide constructive feedback. A mentor or a coach like myself, right, can offer guidance. We can share experiences that help you. And we can help you see your strengths more clearly as opposed to always focusing on the areas that need improvement. That's another way that we diminish our confidence is we never really take the time to focus on our strengths and all of those accomplishments, right? And then there's celebrating your successes, right? Leads right into that. We must take the time to celebrate our successes. So don't rush past your accomplishments. We have a really bad habit of doing that. And I say we because I sometimes get stuck in that same place. But don't rush past your accomplishments. Take the time to celebrate your wins, no matter how small, right? Reinforce the connection between your efforts and your positive outcomes. When you celebrate your wins, it reminds you of how much you've accomplished, how far you have come, right? So let me share a story about one of my clients. We'll call her Sarah. So, Sarah is a brilliant entrepreneur, right? And she's very successful. She coaches women who own insurance agencies. But despite her company's growth, and more than 25 years of experience in the insurance industry, she still felt like an imposter, constantly fearing that she'd be found out one day or, found out to be inadequate, which none of that was true. But working with me, Sarah became more confident, right? Because she began to challenge those limiting beliefs. She began to keep the success journal and write down the things that she had accomplished. She practiced affirmations, using them every day, saying them, sometimes 2, 3, 5 to 10 times a day, because sometimes that's what it takes in order to reframe our mind and our mindset, right? And then gradually she took on new challenges. And over time, she shifted from self doubt to self assurance, which enabled her to lead her company with this newfound confidence, right? The results that she got from doing this, her income increased because now she believed the value that she brought to the table was worth higher fees, right? In fact, she was challenged with accepting a new contract, and she literally wanted to step outside of the comfort zone, which we talked about earlier. So she challenged herself to ask for $135,000. Now, her old mindset tried to creep in and have her settle for 75,000. Well, she pushed forward. She moved beyond that comfort zone and she asked for what she wanted. And guess what? She got it. She absolutely got it. No one blinked an eye, right? No one said, oh, well, let us think about it. None of that. They just said yes, right? The other thing that happened is her personal life improved. Why? Because she learned to set boundaries, boundaries that helped her to live a more balanced and aligned life. All of that comes from building your confidence. Now, her story illustrates that transformation is possible when you commit to changing your mindset. That's what I'm all about, is changing your way of thinking. And not only just changing your way of thinking, but adding strategies and proven practices behind that that can help you step into this new space of really understanding that you are worth everything that you desire, right? Now, let's translate these insights, if you will, into action. First, you want to start with a success journal, right? So today, begin documenting all of your achievements and then reflect on them regularly to reinforce your self belief. That can be every day when you're doing your morning ritual, right? Sit down and read through all of the achievements you've had, let's say, over the last quarter. The next thing is you want to practice daily affirmations, right? Choose affirmations that resonate with you. I like to create my own, but you can certainly use ones that you find from people you admire. Okay. And then repeat those affirmations. Repeat them every morning. And then make sure that you repeat them throughout the day if you're feeling like you're not as confident. When you repeat them every morning, you set a positive tone for your day. I like to say, commanding your day. Right? And then you want to set like a small challenge for yourself. Identify one action that pushes you slightly out of your comfort zone, and then embrace it as an opportunity to grow, right? Doesn't have to be anything large. Start small, but you want to focus on every day. I should step outside of my comfort zone with one small action, right? Self doubt doesn't have to be a permanent barrier in your life or in your business. When you actively work to transform your mind, that's when you can unleash the confidence that propels you to greater heights, right? I want you to always remember that designing your victory is a choice. And I say that all the time because it is. It's a choice of decisions that you make and actions that you take. And when you work on transforming your mindset and then pair that with taking action, align inspired action, right? You begin to experience the power that you have to change your narrative from one of doubt to one of unshakable belief. Until next time, keep awakening and growing. We'll see you next time.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Business by Design podcast. If you love what you're hearing each week, let me know by leaving a rating and a review. And don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss out on proven mindset techniques, strategies, and tools to help you design your victory and create the business and life you desire. Also, if you're ready to talk about the business and life that you really want, head on over to valeriepriester.com and schedule your private business breakthrough clarity call. Until next week, remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start today.